Hi guys, welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, where we're getting spooky with an episode all about Halloween and horror. Stay tuned for an interview with Media Molecule's own Jen Simpkins to tell us about the land of lost dreams, what horror games you can enjoy this spooky season, and a whole new take on scuba. You'll see, hey, what I mean. Don't get too comfortable now, as the horrors are about to begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK, and we are here today to talk about all things spooky.
I rubbed my hands with glee then, and then it was too late.
Yeah,
you've
like
changed, Dave.
A horrible little fly rubbing its dirty little legs together.
Oh yeah, when it does its full like,
flies are nice.
And do I have a dinner of garbage for you?
Probably, yes.
Because we're going to be talking about horror games, Halloween, and all things spooky, basically, as I'm in charge of the podcast, and it's nearly Halloween. So when this comes out, it'll be the 29th of October, I think. So that's literally like 2 days. 2 days to go.
Yes,
I hope
to the
you're
big
excited. It's the weekend. I hope you're watching scary films. I hope you're full of chocolate. I am already. I've been loading up.
Chocolate.
To introduce everyone, in case you don't know us or have just forgotten what our names could possibly be in this spooky landscape, I have chosen this time to reenact our Slack names for this introduction.
If anyone doesn't know what a Slack is,
yeah,
explain.
It's a messenger.
Just an office
internal
messenger
office messaging thing.
Yeah.
So we don't have to talk to each other out loud.
Yeah.
We just type
Yeah.
angrily.
Yeah. Or Dave does.
Dave is typing. You know something.
Multiple
you
people
know
are
there's
typing,
going to be
several
like a
people.
3-paragraph. Here's what you've done wrong. Message
What
coming.
on earth? This is rhetoric. That is very...
It's canon now, it's been said.
No.
Anyway, my name, your host today, is /Killman. Very good, very good.
Very good.
That's your Twitter name as well at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Oh.
I stole that from the PlayStation Access fans Discord as well.
Oh,
They
really?
came up with it, and I was like, oh, that's great. Happy.
Yeah.
Also, we have Rosie, who is Stars.
What about Rosie is
There it is.
there's
that's
no
the proper
attempt
one.
to try a pun. It's just I want to do stars.
Just a scary
Well,
thing.
I did have
Stars.
Rosie and Evil at first, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
good.
well, yeah,
Why
but
do you go with that?
because I did that last year and every other year because I love the name Resident Evil, and then I was
Every
thinking of
year.
Resident Evil, and I was just like, you know what? In Slack, what if I just confuse everyone and just literally in all caps put stars, like
Yes.
multiple A's, and then my profile picture's also Nemesis from the original PS1
Multiple
game.
A's.
I must admit, Rosie, I'm really looking forward to after Halloween. Whenever I try and tag you on Slack, I don't have to see the stars every time. Every time.
Every time it's like, stars, can you please make this change to the edit?
Like how you're imagining the voice.
I like that
makes
you
me
imagine the
laugh
voice,
so
but the rest of
much.
us are just like, stars. I certainly am.
so much.
Stars.
Oh, well, we also have Rob, who really did actually join in with this one, which I was very proud and pleased of.
Thank
Like,
you.
I think he did really well,
Thank
which is
you.
Harob Fearson.
Horob.
Harob.
Fearsome.
Come on, Ash.
That's what I
Come
said.
on, don't be...
You said
Harob.
Horob.
Harob.
Horror. Horob.
Like horror.
Horror.
Like horror films.
I love Harob. Harob Fearson. I haven't tried to say it out loud yet.
No.
Harob Fearson.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Fearson's good.
Yeah, Fearson is really good.
Yeah.
And Dave. And there's
Yeah.
nothing after that because Dave is just Dave.
Didn't change your picture or
Yeah.
anything. You're just
No,
Dave.
well, first of all, I feel like I missed out. It just sort of happened, and then I didn't want to be the loser who was like, oh, can I get involved an hour later? So, also, I just couldn't think of anything.
It's
And
lasted the whole of October.
I literally couldn't sleep
What
last
about-
night for hours and hours and hours, and I came up with two that I was quite pleased
What
with.
were they? What were they?
There was the Dayville.
Ah, yeah. There's still time.
The Dayville.
There's still time.
And this one,
dropping me
I was happy with this one. Grave Daveger.
Yeah.
Or just Grave, but it
I
doesn't
would
really...
have gone with a frave.
A frave.
A fravid.
It's not bad.
A fravid.
A fravid.
It's getting worse,
Jackson.
Rob.
A frave.
Horob.
I like the first
Horob.
one. I think the first one was the strongest.
The
I
Dayville.
like,
The
yeah,
Dayville,
I like
yes.
that one.
Yeah. The Devil is funny as well.
Yeah. I won't be changing it then.
There's
It's
still
no
time.
point now. We're almost there. I've almost made it.
Yeah,
could be-
soon we're all thinking of the Christmas names.
Oh no.
No, I won't be doing that either.
That's in December.
Sorry.
At least
I
you've got to
know,
hold out
What's
until
your
December.
Christmas name?
I've not decided. Oh, it's Robert S. Pearson.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh.
Not that Christmassy.
Well, it
For
is.
some people it is, but
It's
not like, you know.
It's like saying, Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. It is really.
I'm going to be Die Hash.
Anyway, let's get on with it.
Moving on.
So, to introduce the podcast, this is a little run up of what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be having a main feature all about Halloween, upcoming horror games, with an interview from Jen Simpkins. Lovely, lovely Jen, who
We
is
love
really
Jen.
lovely.
Lovely Jen.
Yeah.
Lovely Jen, who's going to be talking to us about the All Hallows Dreams event, aka the Land of Lost Dreams. So we've got a lovely interview with her where she's going to tell us all about that and the spooky adventures you can go on in dreams this Halloween. We have then got comments of the week, which are our lovely messages from the hashtag PodSquad.
Pod Squad.
Yes, very
Good, Rosie.
Literally,
Better.
before the podcast, I was like, I'm going to be the first to say it. So literally, when you just said Pod Squad, I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, and you still came in last. But
Yeah.
But I was quicker.
you were quicker than normal.
I'm practicing.
And then we're going to have Before We Go, which is coverage outside of gaming, but we talk about things that we do that aren't games.
Thing we do.
There's not much, but there's do something.
We do other things sometimes.
But first, what's new? So hey, we're in the what's new section. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And there are lots of things that are new. The
There really
first
are.
one.
It's just things should stop being new for a second. Just give us a chance to breathe
Catch up.
a little bit.
Yeah, we've got a lot on. And we've just had a lot on. So the first thing that's what's new that I want to talk about is we're going to have completed our Halloween streams by this podcast launch.
Oh, to be future me now.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that currently we're filming this on Tuesday morning. So only Rosie has faced the horrors of this week. And she had a great time, I say confidently.
I had a great time. It was
Oh,
so much
but Rosie's
fun.
not a normal person.
I can't
doesn't
believe
count.
well, I can believe. Of course, I can believe that Happy's Humble Burger Farm was returned
Oh.
to the channel.
with a serious lack of Happy the Cow.
Yeah.
No idea what
Yeah.
Happy the Cow was. And I purposefully haven't looked up what Happy the Cow looks like because I genuinely want to replay it
Yeah.
with Happy
It's a
being
terrifying
involved.
game.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
It's so good. It's just a proper little cooking game where you cook things and Happy comes out and is like, you haven't cooked it well enough. I was happy yesterday.
Nothing has given me as many. I remember when we streamed that, Ash. The jump scares really, really got me. And usually I'm pretty good with handling jump scares. I'll be scared inside, but externally I managed to like keep it cool. But with that game, no, I was a mess, screaming every 2 minutes.
It is
spooky.
I had like one random character dabbing in the middle of the kitchen as well. They never popped up. That was literally when I came home. I literally thought about it and I was like, where did they go? Literally, just in the beginning of a run, they were just dabbing in the kitchen. I turned and I was like, hang on, what was that? And it vanished, of course, because that's what horror does. And then they just never came back. And I had the ghouly shadows, the ghouly shadows, and then the naked people running in.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Sold.
The mascots around the restaurant like move, so PT will come in and be somewhere and you'll turn around and he's
they
gone.
moved. I was
That's
too
why-
busy focusing on the customers.
Yeah, so they come up at all different places. Like the farmer's there, and if you talk to him, he's like, "Will you survive this night in an endless ocean of darkness?" Where everyone else is like, "Howdy, y'all, I'm a pig." So it's a good mix.
Oh, that's cool.
What's Dave's
Look at
face?
Dave's
It's so
face.
afraid
Yes,
for.
I just want to move on. This is like, it just looked horrifying. It just looked horrifying. And Rosie didn't
You're
look
up
like
later
she
today,
cared.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Or in the past when
Yeah, it's in the
people are
past.
watching and
It's in
listening
the
to this.
past.
So.
Didn't I do well? I was
You did very well,
Did
Dave.
very well, Dave.
We
Well
all did
done.
really well, I
Yeah,
thought.
we did.
We've all done really, really
Yes.
well.
So did you, Ash. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the rest of it to play out. I'm also like, I've still got the nerves. I want it to do well and be well. So I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I hope you do enjoy it if you go back and watch it and have a big binge of all the Halloween stuff. So that's what's new on Access this week. Just a little shout out. Also, what else is new on Access? Rob, you've been playing a certain special game.
Oh, I have. I'm so desperate to talk about
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok. There's a little video on the channel where I speak to Dave, and I think Dave was quite annoyed that he hasn't been able to play it yet.
Yeah. It is annoying. I think I speak for many people.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But I have been playing it. There's an early impressions video on the channel. No spoilers. It's just vibes.
It's annoying.
All of
It's
our
just
God of War
vibes,
Ragnarok
just
content will be
chilled
just vibes
vibes.
because it's so so much happens that you don't want to know what happens. Everything that's happened, even the little stuff, is so much cooler when you just have no idea it's coming. And there's so much in the game that you just won't guess. Whatever your theories have been, having finished God of War 2018, whatever you thought might happen, there's going to be stuff that you just were not prepared for. It's exciting.
I'm
so
excited. I can't wait to grab a blanket as it gets a bit nippier and just play God of War Ragnarok. I'm very excited.
The blanket is the most important part.
It is the most important. And also, Ragnarok is all about like the winter breeze.
Yes.
Fimble Winter,
Fimble Winter, that's what it's called.
Well, winter breeze.
We will be having more God of War Ragnarok content on the channel this coming week.
Yes.
So look forward to that.
That's exciting. But that's all we can say about that at the moment, because Ragnarok is heading over. It's not here just yet.
Not yet.
So watch out for the channel for more coverage and get very excited for when it comes out on the
9th of November.
There we go. We've also got loads of other horror games coming out this month and kind of beyond. So we're going to talk about those as well and what's new, because this is the horror podcast. So recently this month we have had A Plague Tale Requiem that came out on the 18th of October for PS5. Have any of you guys been playing that?
I've not played it yet.
I haven't had a chance to yet. I'm trying to wrap up my current games to prepare for Ragnarok.
Oh, just to give context to this, Dave wanted to play Requiem and the code went to Rosie.
Oh, I didn't know that you'd already played the first game, and I'm really interested in both of them.
Wait, Rosie, just cracked on in there.
Ash and I were away at the time, and I said to Ash, I was like, oh no, I'll leave it for a bit. And then I left it, and then like literally as soon as I redeemed it, that was when you said, I'm currently on the... I was guilty.
I won't forget this, Rosie.
Dave, I was guilty. Hey...
I won't forget. I won't forget. I will regret.
Honestly, I felt so guilty. I was like, I'm so sorry, Dave.
That's right. I'm going to string you along a bit longer, I think.
I've been playing it, if anyone's interested.
No.
I'm really interested in the rats. Like, what is it like? I remember when the game first came out.
You don't deserve a code.
Well, when the first game came out, I remember I said in the access office we should do a video on top 10 rats, and then that's what inspired
was this
top
before
10
or after
chickens.
top 10 chickens, right?
This
okay,
was before top 10 chickens.
Okay.
And I never forgot it
Let's
because
never do a top 10 about a specific animal ever
and
again.
then because you all laughed at me, and I said, "But look at all the rats. We should do something rat themed."
Well, that's
so.
top
Is that like
300,000
Ghost here?
rats. in
Yeah,
video
like
games.
rats.
Well,
Ratigan.
there's lots of rats. In this new one, Requiem, I really enjoyed Innocence. I was really excited to see kind of where Amicia and Hugo go in this one. And it picks up straight off where the last game kind of left it. You're straight back in that story about all of these interesting bits, which I won't say just in case you haven't played the first one. But it's a really compelling story, the first one, and follows on immediately in Requiem. And it's so like happy families, so joyous. They're like, haha, let us luxuriate around this beautiful town. Look at the Provence, it's so pretty. And then everything goes horribly wrong, as it always does in these games, and there's just bodies being chewed up, there's people catching plague, there's like whole like slum areas full of corpses and bodies, and up to 300,000 rats can appear on screen at any time.
Yeah, it's
and
so
they can
crazy.
go up all the different levels. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. And also, like, I feel like after hearing Amicia and Hugo be nice to each other for like a full like hour, I'm like, oh my God, bring out the rats. And then the rats go, I'm like, yes, horror. Because they're so like twee, this little brother and sister duo. So it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. We've also got Saturnalia that comes out on the 27th of October, or has come out on the 27th of October for PS4 and PS5, which is a winding, artsy, indie horror game that's like this beautiful painterly style, and basically is about your characters exploring this town, trying to figure out what's going on, and it resets every time you die, so you have to figure out how to get around it again, and you're trying to solve things with your tools and stuff. It
The
looks
art
really
style
interesting.
looks amazing
Yeah.
in it. It really does
It's
look
beautiful.
intriguing.
Yeah.
What does the name mean?
We have
I
to
think
play
that's the name of the location.
I won't be playing it. I was hoping you could play it and tell me.
Maybe
Okay.
I will. Maybe I have.
Maybe you already have plans awaiting you, Dave.
Oh.
Maybe you're taking a trip to Saturnalia.
Well, I hope not, but I have to go somewhere, I guess. So.
One-way ticket. Yes. So Saturnalia has come out. God, this whole past and future thing's really mind-boggling, isn't it? Time is a loop, a circle that we're trapped in. There's also the Chant for PS5 that comes on the 3rd of November, which is this. It's called the Chant because it's about a bunch of people that open a kind of cosmic horror rift to another dimension. They're part of a prismatic science cult. They're all joined together for this retreat and, split dimensions. You know what? It looks incredibly weird.
Why would they do that?
I don't think they meant to.
It sounds cool. It sounds like the kind of thing I would enjoy.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. It's full of like that eldritch kind of horror. The note that I've got here is that they open up the gloom, which is a psychedelic dimension that feeds off negative energy. So if you're a little bit afraid, then the gloom's there like rah, rah, rah. So
I like the name of that.
Yeah.
The gloom.
The gloom is great.
If you were evil, you definitely choose to feed off negative energy. It's like then you just get so full.
Yeah, you'd be.
Would you not also kind of think of feeding off positive energy because then you just leave a world of negative energy?
No, because the more negative people get, the more energy there is for you. Nom, 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 nom. More negativity, they get more scared of you. You eat up the negative energy.
But if they eat all the positive
scary.
energy, then they're in a world of negative and they can just bathe in negativity.
But if you eat the positivity, then you become positive. Yeah.
It's not what the negative... No, the negative energy is all that's left.
Yes, they can't eat that.
Let's move on.
Feed off positive energy.
Let's move on.
Anyway, the chant looks fabulous. It looks really spooky. It's got that survival horror edge, and prismatic science and the gloom sounds like just great names for things going on. So I'm really interested to see how that pans out. We've also got Do Not Open, which is coming on the 15th of November for PS5, which is a puzzle-solving survival horror set in this house that has all these shifting, changing things going on. There's all sorts of shifting, changing things going on this Halloween. It's very old school, procedurally generated, and it follows a man trapped in a warped version of his own house where he's trying to like save his family, and there's a very creepy child that runs around. Rosie, I think I showed you a picture of the little child running up and down the corridors in the trailer.
Yes, you did. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, so that looks good fun as well. So those are the horror games we've got coming up. Any that you guys are going to be playing?
What about that? What about the train game?
Oh yeah, that was on my next page. That was going to be my surprise at the end because Choo Choo Charles is getting a console release. It was admitted on Twitter.
This is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, Choo Choo Charles.
We've got to be streaming this.
I've been very closely following the development of this game. Very closely. And
have you seen this, Dave?
Oh my God, I'm going to tell you about it.
Oh, Dave, you'll love it.
So Choo Choo Charles is
Choo Choo Charles.
It's like Thomas the Tank Engine, but if Thomas the Tank Engine were combined with a spider and it runs after you basically as you're trying to like escape this level. I've been following this so closely.
What on earth sounds good about that?
It's so weird. It's so like weird and funny that it turns around to scary because like genuinely it looks terrifying. And
it sounds terrifying.
It had this iconic trailer that kind of took the world by storm, the horror world, and it was really exciting, and I've been following on Twitter. I've been following 2-Star. I've been sending tweets like, please let me know, console, please.
It's you, Ash.
I know.
You're the reason it's coming.
And now they've said on Twitter, 2-Star Games said on Twitter that a console release is coming next year. So 2023, the year of Choo Choo Charles.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say about that.
We're all going to be playing that.
Not all of us.
All aboard.
I mean, all three of us, and you will be in the stream.
No.
It looks really good, Dave.
Halloween 2023.
You'll love it.
Choo Choo Charles.
We can get train
you
conductor
guys enjoy
hats.
it. You enjoy it. It was bad enough watching Rob do Train Simulator, let alone if that was also half a spider.
You don't control it.
What's wrong with watching me do Train Simulator?
I just felt like you just needed a bit more training. I'm sorry.
It was literally my first time playing. I was learning.
Yeah.
I still think the best part was when we abandoned everyone in the train.
Actually, my favourite saying is "We're learning," but you weren't learning.
I was.
You weren't.
There were multiple different trains, which all had like different controls and stuff. Like it was a tough game.
It was tough.
It was a very hard game.
Tough.
I didn't watch this stream.
No.
For good reason.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Well, I'm glad that you had a nice time. I'm sorry that you guys hated it, apparently.
I had a great time.
I thought it was great.
I had a wonderful time.
I enjoyed it. To a degree.
We had our co-conductor who was just chilling all the time. We left everyone on a train, jumped out of it, and it just zoomed on the tracks. Off it went.
That was a good bit. I like when you went and spoke to the passengers. That was nice
you went and
too.
spoke to the passengers and everything.
Yeah, you got to do that if you're a good train conductor.
Yeah.
I wasn't the conductor. I was the driver, so I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that when you're the driver. It's actually one of the
driving
things.
The train.
As you say, a little bit more training was needed. That's.
Is that a pun? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not doing a pun. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more training was needed. It's a fact. It just,
Well, it sounds like there was lots of training going on.
No, I get it, but like seriously, more training was needed.
Training.
Yeah,
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on now.
Well, that's the end of our What's New section. I just wanted to give a little overview of what you've got to look forward to and what is already out that you can enjoy this Halloween. For our main feature, though, which we'll go to shortly, we're going to go in depth on the games that we have had a personal experience with. So, let's go! We're back in the main feature when I just did a little jostle for our video viewers, so it looked like I've landed on the sofa in between sections.
Added immersion if you're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, audio listeners, that was me describing it so that you don't miss out as well. I'm trying to introduce this to other members of the team, but they're all sat very still and looking at me a little bit
perplexed.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a bit surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. So I'm going to move on very swiftly. We have a great interview coming up next from Jen Simpkins, the editorial manager at Media Molecule, who is going to tell you all about Dreams and their All Hallows event, the Land of Lost Dreams, which is incredibly exciting. And I had the privilege of playing a little bit of it with Jen at PlayStation offices and had a great time. It's so much fun. It is so cute. But you're going to learn a lot more about it from her than me. So I'm going to let Jen do the talking. Here we go. Here's an interview. Exciting. Transition.
Yeah, I'm Jen. I work at Media Molecule and I'm their editorial manager, which means I'm in charge of a lot of words in-game and outside of the game on our blog, The Impsider, where we tell people what cool dreams there are to play. And I also head up the curation department at MM, where we tell people in-game what are the cool dreams to play. Yeah.
I love the little imp pun already has popped out.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we couldn't have a Dreams blog and not have it be some sort of imp pun. So, yeah, it's the Impsider.
Nice. That is a good name. Just to start it off real simple, real broad, how would you describe Dreams as a game?
Oh, wow.
Massive question.
We should be used to this question by now, but the thing is that what Dreams is sort of changes almost like every year now. So Dreams is a game, or it's more... I'm already like, actually, it's kind of a place that you go to... create a bunch of different things. So you can create sculptures, digital sculptures and art. You can compose music. You can create entire video games that use all of these elements. You can plug together a bunch of cool logic. You can curate and pull together collections of fun assets that people make to put in their games. But if you don't want to create, you can just go in and play a bunch of stuff. And it's also this sort of great browser for a bunch of all of this cool art that people make. So you can sit down on your sofa with your PlayStation controller and go, oh, I'm going to play this super cool platforming game, or I'm going to go and check out this like FPS where you can rewind time. So it's kind of a place where everything is presented to you, and whether you're interested in creating things and like noodling about with your own art or making your own games, or whether you're just interested in seeing the kind of weird and wacky and wonderful things that other people come up with, you can really get lost in it for just hours at a time, playing some like really high quality stuff. So yeah, it's never boring whether you're playing it or whether you're working on it, which I do. Yeah, there's always something new popping up, and it's just really fun to keep up with. And yeah, so we use it to create a bunch of stuff that we release in Dreams for people to play. We use our own tools and absolutely love doing it. And yeah, quite often we pull together these things that are kind of like live playable events. And at the moment, we've been working on one for Halloween that kind of takes people to this strange void place where half-forgotten dreams and creations kind of languish.
Oh, I like languish.
I know. I'm impressed with myself on that one as well.
Lounging at the bottom of the well.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck there, and they're kind of trapped there, and you've ended up trapped there too. And so that's kind of the spooky premise for our Halloween event that we're inviting people to come and play. And the cool thing about it is that with every one of these kind of events that we create in Dreams, we ask the community to create their own submissions for it. So this year we've got in the land of lost dreams, which is what this place is called. We've got this forest of gloom, basically, which is a bunch of different people's like spooky glades filled with like amazing art and jump scares and like life-sized board games or like tricky platforming. And you can walk through this kind of like haunted forest of like forgotten creatures and like strange game mechanics. And it's all made by the people who play Dreams every day and enjoy creating stuff in it. So yeah, it's like these events are always like huge collaborations between us at Media Molecule and the people who create things in Dreams, our community. And it's just so much fun to work on and pull all together as one big thing. It's great.
Yes, we've had a little play of it this morning and it's been amazing. It's been so much fun to kind of dive in and see all the spooky aspects of it. And you mentioned earlier that it's more of kind of like, it's more about balancing the spooky vibes instead of going all out horror. So how would you say you've approached that in the All Hallows Dreams event?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, it's something we really thought hard about, like, for the tone of this event. We've done kind of like pumpkins and witches and spooky things. Last year for Halloween, we did like a community created ghost train where people made sections of the ghost train ride. But this year we were like, oh, how can we do something a little bit different? And one thing about Dreams is that it's like a Peggy 12 rating, which means that like, you don't want to go like all out gore because it's got to be like age appropriate for all kinds of people playing Dreams. Like, it's not just older people who play Dreams. Sometimes it's younger people. So we're like, oh, how can we kind of come up with a fun new angle on like horror and Halloween? And like one aspect of kind of like horror that we're really big fans of at is kind of like the strange and weird and surreal stuff. Like we're really big fans of like Pendleton Ward's work, like Adventure Time, and we like love the movie Coraline and things like that. And so those are kind of the kind of references we've drawn on where it's like, oh, this kind of like strange like unplace where like odd half-formed things are swirling around, and it's kind of beautiful and also quite funny in places and goofy, but also it's kind of got a little bit of nastiness to it as well. And it's really cool because it just means that it's a bit of a different angle for our community to take up. And we've gone, look, we're, when we did the call and we put out these templates for people to create things with for the event, we were like, okay, so the idea is, this is the void where all of your sort of forgotten creative projects are trapped forever, and like fragments of like creative ideas. What have you got? And they came up with really interesting things that like are just spooky in different ways for artists. Like, oh no, like a character that's only been half finished and they're kind of like crawling out of the void and trying to escape and failing to. So yeah, those were the kind of like references that we picked up on and we were able to really have fun with. And it means that we can kind of inject a bunch of like humor and make silly jokes and a bunch of references to things that people have made in Dreams before, and even our own history at like characters that maybe we used in the marketing of Dreams before it came out all those years ago, and maybe they're trapped down here in this void as well. So maybe there's some familiar faces for people who've been keeping up with Dreams for a long time.
It definitely walks that line between kind of like scary if it didn't have so much humor in, like it's really good and weird in the best way. Do you think it kind of provides any twists on the Dreams formula, or do you think it is just Dreams through and through?
It honestly is so Dreams. Like I would say it, like if people aren't familiar with Dreams, like this is kind of a real distillation kind of like Dreams's attitude. Like what I like to say like quite a lot is like I feel so lucky that the community kind of has the same sense of humor we do, and almost the same eye for aesthetics and kind of like the beautiful but also the weird and the kind of unsettling. Like the things that make them laugh are the things that make us laugh. So we just sort of end up in this like cycle of trying to make each other laugh or trying to impress each other.
Like the cone.
Like the cone. We'll get onto the cone. But like, yeah, so it's kind of this thing where it's like the community makes something and we're like, wow, that is incredible. Like, we've never seen an art style like that in Dreams before. They've come up with something totally different. So then for our next event, we'll be like, right, well, we want to push it to the limit and make this whole new art style. And we also want to like riff on this joke that someone's made, and we want to like canonize it in like and Dreams lore and put it in our event so that then they'll see it and they'll laugh. And we're just trying to one up each other and kind of egg each other on. Yeah, the cone. Should we talk about the cone?
I think if you want to talk about the cone, this is your platform to talk about cone.
Yeah, listeners, I had to explain the cursed cone to Ash. So there's this thing in the Dreams community at the moment, and like everything in Dreams is a remix of a remix of a remix, and we just kind of riff on these jokes over and over with our community. It's just, I think you described it, Ash, when we were talking, it's just like, it's just like one big in-joke. Yeah. So in the land of lost dreams, you end up maybe running into this strange cone creature. So we have these tutorial characters in Dreams that like show you how to use the create tools and how to like move around characters and all this sort of stuff. And they're called Connie and Cuthbert. And so Connie is just like a little orange cone. And she's very chill, very simple, little cone with a face. She's been possessed by an imp, which does actually sound scarier than it is. That's just a game mechanic. Creepy. But anyway, we had a dreamer called Shy Guy actually make a version of Connie called Unnecessarily Realistic Connie. And they made that in Dreams. And as you can imagine, it's just unnecessarily horrifying. It's made out of skin. It's got a human face. And it's just Connie, but too realistic. And then for reasons that I won't go into, I ended up making a papier-mâché real-life version of unnecessarily realistic Connie that just ended up looking even more horrifying because, it's handmade with love. Wrinkly and sort of gangrenous and all this. Anyway, the community loved that. We got a lot of fan art about the cone, which was also doubled as a hat, a fetching hat that I wore.
You got to get all these uses out of the cone.
Just a multi-use cone.
Yeah.
We love that here at Media Molecule. So the community loved that because they have the same weird, twisted sense of humour that we do, and they also find flesh cones funny.
Don't call it the flesh cone.
It has many names. The skinfant, it's been known as. So they loved it, and that's just one example of like something that we have in the Land of Lost Dreams where it's like the community found it funny, we were tickled that they found it funny, and so we've actually made it into a character sort of at the bottom of this void where kind of horrifying half-formed creatures lived. It seemed a really good place for her. So you will encounter the cursed cone on your trip through the Land of Lost Dreams, and it's a full kind of like story this time. It's the first time in one of our events where we're like, we've sort of done like a start to finish like story quest. So hopefully that should be really fun for people kind of returning to Dreams and looking for something cool to play. There's like a bunch of characters to meet, like side quests to do, secret challenges to unlock, and the cone being one of them. Hopefully the cone is just as terrifying even if you don't know its backstory, but now you know.
I enjoyed it as someone who maybe didn't know about the cone, and when you told me the story had a great laugh. Like seeing the cone again, I was like, yes. But on the first appearance of the cone, she jump scared me.
Yeah, she will do that. She's a bit skittish, really, but it's just so fun to do stuff like that, like especially when we know that the community are going to eat it up. And that's something that we feel is really special about what we do, and that kind of no one else is doing is integrating UGC or user-generated content into events like this. Like there are a lot of UGC games out there, but like we make a real effort to like include it as part of the fabric of the events that we're developing. And so it's just a huge collaboration like in development between us and like a bunch of the creators making things in Dreams. And that just feels really special to us because it just feels like it's a team effort, like not just for us at the studio, but we're building this kind of relationship with a bunch of the artists that actually use our game, and we love that. So we just throw in so many like silly little references that they'll get, but hopefully we'll also just like tickle people who are looking to get something out of Dreams coming back and for the Halloween event. So yeah.
Do you think this is a good point for new players to access as well?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think this, like, being a kind of self-contained little, like, story in itself, it's a really nice place to start, especially if you're, you know, a fan of things of the more spooky persuasion.
Yes.
This is a really fun thing to go in for. Like, we find that our Halloween events, like, super popular because just everyone loves a good scare. Yeah, and this is really fun because you can obviously go through the MM story, but then, you know, there's this, like, whole, like, really long forest and like cursed trinket shrines filled with like user created gubbins and knickknacks as well. So there's just so much to do. It's probably about, like, I'd say over an hour and a half of just like fun stuff to check out and play, and you can finish it off and tick off a bunch of your quests in your quest book and sort of feel like you've had a complete experience. So yeah, like a really nice jumping on point, and hopefully gives you, sort of like we were talking about earlier, a bit of a flavour for kind of the sense of humour and the style that like Dreams has nowadays, not only thanks to us, but like thanks to all of the impact that the community has had on it, and the kind of things that basically they've created Dreams to be. Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. It's just so nice. Like, I can see the joy on your face when you talk about Dreams, and when you talk about Dreams, when you talk about spooky stuff as well. You're like, hey.
Oh, we are all obsessed with it here. So we've just had like an absolute blast making this, and yeah, the fact that we're able to like really work closely with the people who play our game and love our game and put so much time and effort into making beautiful things for other people to like play and experience in our game. Like, what more do you want? It's just nice. Just a huge love fest. It's great. Spook fest.
Yeah, talking about love fest, onto the horror. Do you think that horror provides a good creative playground for this sort of content? Like, I know you say it's your biggest thing of the year. Like, what do you think draws people to the horror content of Dreams?
God, that is a great question. I think, right, just because there's so much leeway, like, and there's a challenge in there of, okay, so like we all know like the easiest way to scare someone is like, oh, pop a jump scare in. And you know, there are a bunch of jump scares. We've put some in. Some of our community have put some in. But like, I think the thing that really draws creative people to horror is there are so many kind of like unexplored pockets of like tone that you can like really work cool stuff into. Like, I almost think of like movies like I love the movie Midsommar as a horror movie, right? And it's like that is maybe not what you might expect a typical air quotes horror movie to look like, you know, but like the way that it works with like color and shape and like themes, like it's creating this unsettling atmosphere before you even, you know, get into some of the gorier stuff later. And so I think that's what attracts like Dreams creators to the idea of horror as well, is like, oh, hey, well, you know, like we're looking for something like really thematically like challenging and to come up with like new ideas. Like they're really hungry for that. So it's just like, oh, well, there's so much room within the idea of scaring someone to be like, how can I do it in a different way? Can I scare someone like using a bunch of like cuddly toys? Like we have something of that in the Forest of Gloom. We have a creator who is creating a spooky experience that actually kind of features a bunch of their like created plushies that they've made in Dreams. They have a fictional toy line they've created.
So cool.
Yeah, so there's just, you know, there's so many things you can do within that space and like play within that space, and like that's what's been really like motivating and exciting for us, is taking this different slant on it, where it's like, oh, hey, it's not just like pumpkin carving and witches. It's like, that's great, but you know, we can come up with this strange entity that is kind of formed out of lightning and talks to you through its lightning mouth. And
that is great, by the way. He pops up in different places and kind of does like his strange little speech, and it's so compelling to just be like, oh, okay, here he is again, and he's just composed of entirely different things.
Yeah, and it's such a cool concept. You know, we have so many artists at Media Molecule. Like, I mean, Theo Hain worked on this, Ed Hargrave, Jamie Breeze, like, and they just come up with all of these like wild concepts of like, you know, like strange creatures speaking to you out of the sky, and like a character from MM's past that like got used in a marketing video once and fell down here, and now he kind of spends his time like distracting himself with board games and video games, and you know, he's kind of a sweetheart at heart, but he maybe needs to tidy his room. Like there's so much stuff to kind of explore, and I think our community's really responded to that as well and really taken up the mantle, and they always do. Like, and that's what makes it really special for us, and we feel really lucky. It's just like we always put the call out, and they always respond like triple the amount we expect in terms of like just the quality and the inventiveness of the concepts they come up with. And yeah, it's because we're all such big fans of like Halloween and like horror stuff and slightly unsettling surrealist humor. Like it's just a joy to see that they're in that same headspace with us. So yeah, like it's so representative of kind of like Dream's tone at the moment. So yeah,
I feel like it reminds me of kind of like the Twilight Zone with so many different episodes you can go into, but more specifically the Futurama ripoff of the Twilight Zone, the scary door.
Yes!
That's like the energy of Dreams.
For sure. And like we often like reference, like Ed always references this as well, like the idea of like the grab bag, that where you're walking through and you kind of never know what to expect next, because it's a completely different Dreams creator with their different spin on something. It's almost like the kind of interdimensional cable episode of Rick and Morty, where it's just kind of like you walk into it and you're like, I kind of don't know what is happening, but it's cool, I guess. Like it makes sense in its own little world. And so yeah, I think someone coming out like outside of Dreams probably have that experience even more, because you don't get the full context for like, wait, why is this creator obsessed with like impossible architecture and like weird like spiders made out of gingerbread? Like I don't understand. So it's like a real like surreal experience, doubly so if you kind of if you're not super familiar with the creators behind this. You're like, why is this here? What is going on? And I think that adds to the kind of the sense of being a stranger in a strange land, especially in the land of Lost Dreams.
Definitely. I think kind of to round us off, it'd be great to hear what your favourite part of the land of Lost Dreams is, which I know is like an impossible question.
I know, it's like asking to choose between all your children, because I absolutely love everyone. I'm like, But yeah, we've actually made a little tourist brochure on the editorial team where it's like a fictional kind of like guide to this place as a potential tourist destination. Spoilers, I mean, it's maybe a bit horrifying, but we're trying to upsell you. So we're like, beautiful views of like burning hellscapes. But that has like a few recommendations of our like tippy-toppy favorite things. There's a creator called Fluffy and Sassy, and they've made an incredible like life-size Jumanji-esque like Halloween board game that you get to walk along, and you kind of like roll the dice, and each square like something happens. You're trying to collect as much candy as you can before the end, but if you land on the wrong square, you might get chased by giant slasher movie rabbits. So that is fantastic. There's a creator called Johnny Biscotti, which is, by the way, maybe my favorite PSN ID of all time.
That's great, yeah.
Johnny Biscotti.
Delicious.
So cool, right? It's just got such good mouthfeel. They've made an incredible part of the Forest of Gloom that is features like an infinite hotel, and you walk down this corridor, and as you walk down this corridor, like flanked by all of these doors, and it stretches into sort of seemingly nothingness, and as you keep walking down, it sort of slowly starts to turn, and you feel a bit queasy, and you end up sort of walking on the walls and the ceiling. And that's actually sort of a little promo for their Museum of Anomaly, good word, project that's coming out, that is going to be like a playable museum in Dreams that's all about impossible architecture and like weird surrealist places and liminal spaces. So I love that. My goodness, what else? Oh, there's so much good stuff. There's one which is this like beautiful, peaceful walk through like a twilight forest where you're following this deer that has like light streaming from its antlers, and there's a bunch of little cats following behind as well, and that's like a really zen thing. But then you'll go like from that straight into like a world where you're helping a fish like fish its lost furniture out of a pond, and that's made by one of our Japanese Dreams creators, and it's like very surrealist, and this fish is just very happy, and you're like, okay, thank you. And then you'll walk into like a nightmare zone where there's like a log cabin that suddenly catches on fire, and you'll be chased. So yeah, my goodness. I mean, I could probably talk all day about my favorite stuff in this thing. There's just so much to see, and I would just really encourage, like, if you're the kind of person where you're like, oh, I'm not sure what to like play on my PlayStation tonight, I've got a spare half hour, like I kind of just want to be shown like a stream of like wild, varying, playable, interactive, funny, thoughtful content, then like jump into this thing, and it's like a really good taster of what it's like to play Dreams on a daily basis, but kind of wrapped up into all one neat spooky package.
Yeah. How long is All Hallows Dreams on for?
So it's actually going to be playable forever in Dreams.
Hey, there we go then.
This is what we do with our events, is we kind of release them, and we have this lovely big like launch, and we're all hype, and we release a bunch of fun stuff around it, like all of the stuff that all the different departments have been working on. So we've got some fun like social media activities done by our community team. We've got the editorial and curation stuff. So like the game will be all set up Halloween themed, and we're releasing this fictional tourist brochure that's like a little guide to the game that you can print out. So yeah, we have that like big moment, but then like all of this content just remains forever in Dreams to like play and revisit at any time. So that goes for like all of our other live events as well. So you can go back and play the old Halloween events if you like, and like see what people made for the Ghost Train. You could go and play the old Dreams comms where people make their own sort of advertising booths for their upcoming game projects. It's like a huge game convention in the game. So yeah, so like, I mean, hop on in the Halloween season. It's a great time for it, but yeah, it'll be around in Dreams forever for everyone to play and enjoy.
Horror is for all year round.
Oh yeah, baby.
So there we go, guys. That was a lovely bit of info on Dreams and the All Hallows Dreams event from Jen, who was just really nice. It was just a really nice interview to do. Like, it was just really lovely. It's a great game.
I've been pained at great lengths to tell Ash this several times. So I'm going to tell everybody that Rob and I used to work with Jen.
Oh, did you?
Sort of nearby Jen, more than like, we weren't in the same team, but we worked in the same office.
I don't know if Jen remembers us now that she's famous and successful at Media Molecule.
She is, yeah. I wouldn't remember us.
No.
Oh, well.
But we remember you, Jen.
Fondly.
That sounded a bit threatening, but we remember you, Jen.
She knows what she did.
Well, Dreams and the All Hallows Dreams event is available like forever now. It's just something in Dreams. It came out on the 20th of October. It's great fun. It's super spooky. It's cute as well. So it's not like all scary. There's just a few jump scares that absolutely got me whilst I was playing. Like a cone jumps out and it's scary and got me. But yeah, it's just great and it's worth giving a go. And it's definitely something you can just pick up and play as well. Like a proper have a little adventure, go off and do something, come back, do a bit more. It's really good.
Dreams really is fantastic, isn't it?
It's amazing.
It's just lovely.
It's incredible to see how far it's developed, and the things that the things that players, if you call them players, I don't know, creators are making in it is just absolutely incredible. And I feel like it's such a great gateway to so many creative industries and just fun. And I love that it's just sort of like sharing. It's like a sharing culture of involvement. It's just brilliant.
I love how you can dip into it casually if you want, and just I have no skill whatsoever when it comes to making anything good, but I like that I can just dip in and be like, oh, I'll just enjoy all of the things that other vastly more talented people have made for me. It's great.
It definitely is good as something where you can just be like, okay, there's loads of creators that know what they're doing. Let's go and play their games. Like, you don't have to make something, which is quite nice as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dreams, there it is, All Hallows Eve. Fantastic stuff. Give it a little play on Halloween and enjoy yourself. We're also going to talk about in this main feature some other hands-on experiences that we've been very fortunate to get with horror games that I'm really excited to talk about. The first one being Resident Evil 4, Rosie, which was your jam.
My jam.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tell us.
I'm just, there's so many things to talk about. I have to say, so we've put a video on the channel very recently, and the video is around 10 minutes. But when I spoke to Rob about it originally, it was 30 minutes long because I had so many things to talk about. And obviously, there's only so much I could talk about at the moment, so we had to massively cut it down. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I went to the Capcom office and I had just an absolute blast playing it. I thought it looked great.
Leon's fringe looks amazing.
Leon just looks amazing.
Gameplay. It looks so shiny and floppy, and
it's so shiny and floppy. and
what a fringe.
Hunnigan looks great as well. Like there was a little cutscene where you saw Hunnigan. It's in our video as well. Just literally just like moving over to a different computer screen. But I was just like, Hunnigan, you look awesome and fantastic. They've also from the Resident Evil showcase recently, they've revealed some more characters. So you've got Lewis, who looks brilliant. I think Lewis is he just looked so. I was like, Lewis, you look awesome, and I can't wait to.
Oh, Louis Serra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. I hope they do the bit again where can't you like shoot him and he gets annoyed and he shoots you back.
Yeah, I mean from what I actually played, he was only announced in like the Resident Evil showcases that was recent. I only played from like the beginning of the game until when the title sequence comes up. So after
the bingo line.
So yeah, right after the bingo line bingo line, and then the title came up, and then that's where my demo sort of played. Watching the Resident Evil showcase, I saw they revealed the merchant as well, and I was like, oh, there's the merchant. Every character just looks so good.
Do your best merchant impression, Rosie.
Go on.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
What are you selling?
Whoa.
Not enough cash. Stranger.
It's like he's here.
I love the merchant so much. But anyway, back to what I just played. It was just so...
Anyway,
So I'm not finished talking about the stranger, Rosie.
Well, the merchant.
I was going to say, has anyone ever watched Mega 64?
Yes.
On YouTube?
Oh my God.
Their Stranger, Resident Evil Stranger video, one of my favourite YouTube videos of all time. So
They fully got the police after them and everything.
Yeah, it's so good. Basically, it's just one of my favourite YouTube channels from the days of yore, Dave. Just a group of people doing funny video game skits in the real world. And then one of them dressed up as the Stranger. Not the stranger, the merchant from Resident Evil, and just went around in public asking people what they were buying and what they were selling.
I love it.
What are you buying?
So I was like,
pizza for the kids. What are you selling?
Well, what are you selling? She's like, stuff.
And at the end,
so good.
At the end, the police are called, and it cuts to the "You are dead" screen from Resident Evil, but instead it says "You are arrested."
Nice.
It's really good. Go and watch that.
It's such a good video.
I'm going to need to watch this as well.
It's so good.
Oh,
There's
it's
a great
so good.
Final Fantasy one as well. There's one with Hironobu Sakaguchi. I think that's my actual favourite Mega 64 video. Anyway, back to Resident Evil 4. Sorry, Rosie.
But I mean, I can't take up the whole segment because there's lots to talk about. But please, keep an eye out for it. Be excited for it. I've had a great time with it. I can't wait to talk about it more and talk more in depth about it. I want to talk as much in depth as possible because I have so many things I want to say about it. And I can't wait to play it again and again and again to do the challenges and try and get some trophies and stuff like that. So be excited for it. I'm excited for it. It's coming in March and I'm so excited.
She's vibrating with joy. It's the 24th of March for PS4 and PS5,
yes,
isn't it, Rosie?
It is the 24th of March for PS4 and PS5. So, and I love the RE engine as well. So it's just going to be a fantastic time.
Engine.
Did I say engine? Engine. That's how excited I am. I cannot speak.
Oh, no, that's adorable. I'm so gassed for you. I know how excited you are for Resi 4. I'm excited to get my hands on it, but I know this is I've just seen you I'm so excited to see you play it more than anything. Oh man, but yeah, Resident Evil 4 looks fantastic.
Oh no, there was something actually I really wanted to say. Remember off camera, Rob, when you asked about the dog?
Yes.
I think it didn't hit me until I started editing the video. Well, I started looking at the stuff for the video we put on the channel. I think the dog is in the bear trap, but it's dead at the beginning of the game.
I've seen this on social media.
I think that's the dog. I think they've killed it in the.
Why would they do that?
Literally, I didn't. When I played the demo, it did not hit me. It didn't click until I saw the footage again. I thought, oh my god, that's the dog.
Do you think if did you spend a lot of time
no,
exploring?
I think it's just automatic. I think it's just a shock value thing. You're not going to have that little helper
That's
in the
cruel.
El Gigante
Why would
fight.
they do that to us?
I know. I'm
You-
sorry.
you
I
must
just
know the
had
dog,
to
Dave.
say it.
I don't know anything anyone said about anything. I've
Have you
never
not played
played Resident Evil 4. That's why I've been
It's a
sat here
little
very
dog.
quietly
It's a cute
hearing
little
about a
dog
merchant and a dog
in the
and
original.
Lewis and Leon's fringe. I mean, I know who Leon is,
Ada.
assuming it's the same Leon, but yes. So
There's a little dog you can save from a bear
Apparently
trap
not.
right at the beginning.
in my
And
Resident Evil 4, there's not going to be one. He's dead.
He's dead.
And you're going to be playing Resident Evil 4?
Well, I played 2 and 3. I feel conflicted, but I liked 2 and 3, the remakes. So
here we go.
Yeah, 4's the best one.
You'll enjoy this one, I reckon. I think you have a really
I
good
enjoyed
time
those
with it.
ones.
Yeah, but I like that's what I mean. I think you'll really enjoy this one as well.
4 is less scary, or originally it was. It's more action based.
Okay.
So I think you'll love it. It's the best one. It's so
It's got
good.
lines. I mean, the original has lines like, "I've sent my right hand off to dispose of you," and then Leon says, "Your right hand comes off." It's just so good.
I look forward to that.
It's just so good. Oh man, I'm just so excited.
Well, I'll tell you what else there is to be excited for. The Callisto Protocol!
Yes!
Which is coming on the 2nd of December for PS4 and PS5. And I got to play that one. And I had a great time. It was really good. Everybody look at me and go, wow, I'm so jealous.
Wow, I'm so jealous.
Well done. Well
I am
done,
jealous,
Ash.
to be fair. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah?
I'm glad you did it. To be honest.
This
is not Dave's podcast.
No, it's really
no.
just you're doing well.
Thanks.
You're doing well. I went to a little cave in London where the Striking Distance team were there, including Glenn Schofield, and played some Callisto Protocol. Played level 3, which was Habitat, I think, or I think it's level 3. It was called Habitat, and it's just amazing. It's so crunchy. It's so icky. There's a video on the channel for it, so check that out. Oh my God, I just had the best time. Like it's everything you love about Dead Space taken up like 10 notches in a new format. You know what I mean? Like the biophage are the new enemies, and they are mutated. They are gross. You can shoot their limbs off. They do all sorts of horrible things. I'm just like listing things because it's just good. It's just really good. The telekinetic abilities is called the grip, and you can grip things with it and then blast them off like ding.
I like the little hand that came with that.
Yeah, it's so good.
What's
it's so
the
good.
story of the Juno?
So your man, Jacob, I believe, is in Black Iron Prison on Callisto, which is a moon of Jupiter.
Right.
And something happens where the prison is being taken over. So he's freed from his cell, making his way through, trying to escape this horrible overtaking of mutation, extraterrestrial business. So you're working your way through Black Iron Prison to try and find an escape. The wardens are still there, which are like robotic entities that are these massive, hulking, like bipedal wardens. You know, they're protecting the prison, and obviously as you're a escaped prisoner, they're still after you as well. So there's stealth sections that you have to go through where you can't like jump out and attack the wardens. You have to really think about it because they're these massive robots with like guns attached to them. So if they find you out of grounds, they're just going to shoot you up, and that's like one of the deaths you can have. Oh, there's so many deaths. There's so many gory, nasty deaths in Machinery, where you get your face bitten off, where you get your arm torn off. Oh, I had a great time. I had such a good time.
Rob's face is just like, is that so?
It's really good. I'm really, really excited to play it. And
I'm happy
really,
for you.
really excited for the Dead Space remake as well, which we haven't had a hands-on with, but the PlayStation blog has, and they did a great write-up about how brilliant that looks as well, with so many new parts to it. So the pair of them coming out like so close together, because Dead Space remake is 27th of January for PS5. I'm living. I know Nath is living as well. God bless his soul.
Yes, Nath is definitely alive. He's living.
There's so much horror, isn't there?
Yeah. The Dead Space write-up, just a few key points from that is Isaac's now fully voiced. There are no loading screens. There's intense new moments where there used to be a moment where you'd see like a captain transform behind a piece of glass, whereas now it's like up close and personal. So these transformations are happening in your face. There's junction boxes that you have to turn things off with circuit breakers and stuff, which means you can choose to either go through an area with no oxygen or with no lights, but you have to make that decision. Like you're choosing
no oxygen every time.
Is that what you'd pick?
Yeah.
So you've got the threat of suffocation, like
It's fine.
that's
I'll
looming
take
over
it.
you.
I'll just stand still and die.
Yeah, but you
so
know
I
what I
can
mean?
see everything.
It's very cool, isn't it, that you're picking your poison? Is how I described it. And
I
it
bet
just
the
sounds
lights
fun.
aren't like, no, it's not like, it'll be like flickery, moody. It's still going to be dark horror lighting, isn't
True.
it?
Yeah.
No. But I, the player, I can't, if it was my oxygen, okay, then I'd think again. But
that's what happens.
What?
Yeah, it's
Right, well,
linked
I'd
to
like
real
to
world
rethink.
oxygen.
I'd like to rethink.
Instead of picking up your plasma cutter, you make it out of parts, so it has more of like the engineering background for Isaac as well. It's just really cool. It's just loads of little additions.
I'm happy that they're bringing, because I'm currently playing Dead Space on the PlayStation 3 with a mate, and we keep on having a joke that Isaac's just getting asked to do everything but not much engineering stuff at all. So he's like, oh, please, I'm just an engineer. Like, can I do some engineering? So the fact that you will be doing a bit more engineering stuff, I would like that little touch.
Yeah, and upgrading at your bench and everything still.
Yeah.
So there's loads of good stuff.
I mean, you can upgrade in the original, of course. So he does do some engineering in the original, but like just more engineering. I just like it.
He is an engineer.
Doing what's in my contract. Rather than all of this extra work, saving the world.
Yeah, two people
Fighting.
are like chilling in these rooms doing their things. Like, oh, Isaac, can you go to the other end of the ship and pick this up so we can then bring it back? It's like, can't you do it? Why is always poor Isaac?
It's classic video game protagonist, isn't it? Got to do everything yourself.
Everything yourself.
Yeah.
Can't trust anyone. Can't trust anyone. Stand by that. Looking at you all. We also got our hands on with The Devil in Me, did we not, Rosie?
We did.
We
We
did.
saw Mr. Curator.
Ash
Told everyone that I fancied him.
I did. I was like, hi everyone at Supermassive. Rosie really fancies the curator.
I just love him.
Did you
He's
say
just
it in
a
your
beautiful
Keira Knightley
man.
voice?
No, I said it all, but I was like, oh, Rosie wants to kiss that man.
And then she fully, no, not that. It was just like,
What?
No, I just really love him. I just love him. I don't want to kiss him. I just love him. But like, you know, the boyfriend list.
Yeah, no,
like,
I know.
you know, you just love these characters.
Yes.
Mr. Curator's on the boyfriend list. He's like one of the newest additions. But fully, I just went to get a snack because they had some lovely canapes, and Ash was like, Rosie really fancies Mr. Curator, and then fully did like a little cackle laugh at the end of it, like.
It just made me laugh because we were talking about it like as a little joke, and then I came outside and they had this little figure of the curator on the desk. I was like, wow, that's really cool. You got a little curator figure, and they were like, that's what's in your box, because they gave us a little freebie, which was so nice. And thank you so much.
So for people who don't know, The Devil in Me is the latest in the
we're
Dark
getting on to the
Pictures
game
anthology,
itself.
right?
I have to talk about Mr. Curator
We gotta
first.
get curator talk out first. Pip Torrens, this goes out to you. Yes, The Devil in Me is the latest in the Dark Pictures anthology. Rob.
Thank you.
And
I didn't know.
is the season finale, basically. It's the season finale
season one.
of
wow.
that collection, and follows a TV crew as they go into an exact replica of H.H. Holmes's house. And if you don't know who H.H. Holmes is, he's America's first serial killer.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah, H.H.
So his
Holmes.
initials are
Holmes.
Yeah. But
So
three,
it's
three H's.
H. Holmes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he's saying his initials are HHH.
yeah. That was a little
Holmes.
joke for you.
Holmes.
Oh, like that. Like, okay, right.
Holmes.
Holmes. But he's really like, it's a spooky story. He, for those of you who don't know, he built a hotel. What was it called?
The World's Fair.
The World's Fair. And people who, like tourists who came to visit, they'd go to the hotel, and basically this hotel was just a massive, like, not escape room, but it was
like a
filled
booby trap.
Everything, every room was filled with booby traps. You put psychological, twisty mazes and challenges and stuff in there. So, what was his philosophy? Like, confuse them and then
Kill them.
Yeah, it's like something disorientate. Blah blah blah.
he wanted to confuse everyone to the absolute breaking point. Until someone's just completely lost it, and then he'd sadly murder them in horrific ways, like acid baths and stuff
I
like
think
that.
the acid baths were for getting rid of the bodies in the basement.
Was it?
quick
Oh, I thought
climb.
that's how he. I thought that's how he just experimented on them.
Yeah, so he could have. To be fair, a lot of this was like media sensation, like in the day as well. Like it was very hyped up in the newspapers that he had a murder castle, was what they called it. But the game very much leans into these myths and legends, and you're there with a modern day like crew and a modern day person who has based his whole house on H.H. Holmes and all the different rooms that he has.
Yeah,
with his
he bought a
broken gas
hotel for
pipes.
it. Like,
Yeah, like his whole bag is World's Fair, so he's recreated it totally. And the TV crew are there because they're in like a failing, struggling industry. No, well, a failing, struggling company. You know, their company's going to go under, so they need like one big break to make it all work. And they're making the Architects of Murder documentary where they're covering H.H. Holmes, but there was nothing they could use to really showcase it until this weird little man says, do you want to come to my murder castle in the middle of an island? And they do. So that's
because they're like, yes, give us that. And also for the actual real H.H. Holmes. And actually, for the real H.H. Holmes, he when he was taken to trial, when they finally caught him, he said that, like, you know, it was a big case and stuff, but he essentially said that he felt he was born with the devil in me, which is where then the title "The Devil in Me" comes from.
Very
it's from
good.
what he said when he was
The devil in me.
Yes. Oh my god.
Well, that's the title of the stream now.
Yes.
It's no excuse, is it? No excuse. Oh, the devil was in me.
Yeah.
No excuse.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he did have the devil in
unless
him.
the devil's real,
Yeah.
then it is a sort of an excuse, I guess.
But he admitted to killing 27 people in his murder castle. So experience the fun of that in The Devil in Me, which is based on H.H. Holmes, but follows a modern day crew and takes inspiration from like myth and legend rather than outright recreation of, you know, horrible things that this man did. It was really good fun to play. It built up suspense perfectly. It was really interesting getting to know all the different characters in there. There's loads of new additions to the gameplay, so you can now run and hide as well as use tools to solve puzzles. So you can use credit cards to crack open locks, like slide them in. You have a lighter, you have a directional microphone because you've got a little audio engineer, you've got a camera flash for the photography man. Like, there's all sorts. It's really fun. The co-op obviously is still in the game as well, so you've got your movie mode where you pass the pad, you've got online co-op. Just good, isn't it?
And the story's been sort of extended. So the previous games in the series have been around like 4-ish hours, whereas this one's like over 7 hours.
Yeah.
So you got lots of grab a friend, grab some popcorn, and
grab the curator.
Grab a blanket. I was going to say. Not
you've still
curator.
got it from God of War Ragnarok, probably. You know.
I'll have the same blanket from God of War Ragnarok now. So, just enjoy The Devil in Me when it comes out.
Yes. So those are all the games that we've had like actual time with and are really excited for. But the biggest announcement that I'm sure we all can't wait for, especially Dave, is all the Silent Hill stuff. Woo!
Silent Hill news.
Silent Hill. That's my impression of the girl from the film. Silent Hill.
Which is like Silent Hill.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I don't know. I'm scared. My only experience with Silent Hill was when the first game, a demo for the first game, was included in my copy of Metal Gear Solid when I was 11 years old, and I was like, oh, what's this? I'll try this. And it was only like a 15-20 minute section of the game, but it traumatized me so much that I've never touched a Silent Hill game since.
I've heard that before, that people playing the demo just absolutely lost it.
I was so scary. I was only like 11.
Yeah.
So I am nervously excited about the Silent Hill 2 remake and all of the other Silent Hill things that are coming.
Yeah, the big one is Silent Hill 2 is being remade, which you've just played, haven't you?
Literally, it was insane. So last year
Not the remake.
No. So the original, sorry.
Yeah.
So like last year, I like doing a thing where on a Halloween I play like a spooky game. So last year I was like, right, I'm going to finally play Silent Hill myself because I've seen loads of YouTube videos on it. I saw my brother and his mates play it. I was like, no, I'm going to play it myself. So I did Silent Hill 1 on PS1 last year, which meant it was Silent Hill 2 on the PS2 this year. So I played it. I had a phenomenal time with it. The story and symbolism in that game is something else. And literally then around 5 days after I finished playing it was when the news came out. And I thought, like, genuinely, What have I done? I was genuinely like, you know, I've just finished playing it myself for the first time and now the remake news comes out. So I was incredibly happy. You know, I was just sat there thinking, I mean, I'm still going to play Silent Hill 3 now next year. But just when the news was announced, I was in full on little Silent Hill land because Silent Hill 2, I had such a good time with it. You know, when you play a game and you still think about it after a while, like I was looking up all the alternate endings and stuff.
The
dog
Sheba,
ending.
yeah,
the dog. I showed that to my mate because he didn't know about it, and so after the remake, we were like, "Oh, do you know about the Sheba ending?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" We were like, "Oh, you know this big psychological horror game? Well." So yeah, I'm super excited to see what they do with the remake. Already there were some scenes which were still fresh in my mind, which, you know, you can guess and make links of, oh, is this maybe this scene that they're replicating and stuff like that. So
the perfect time to have played it.
Yeah, honestly, it was insane. While everything's so fresh, I'm still in Silent Hill.
Oh,
and like, you
Silent Hill.
everything's still in your mind and stuff. So I was like that, the whole showcase, I was just like, yes, I am ready for Silent Hill news in general.
Hell yeah, it looks really, really good. So excitingly, it is being remade by Bloober Team, who have done stuff like Layers of Fear, The Medium, Blair Witch, Observer, and it's coming to PS5, which means it's going to have all that beautiful, intense, gorgeous visuals. I'm looking at you, Dave, thinking about playing this.
Yeah. Which one's got Pyramid Head in? Is
The
it?
second one.
The second one.
This is Pyramid Head's debut.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where Pyramid Head lives. He's the symbolism between him and James.
One of the first things I had to do on PlayStation Access was capture the first time you meet.
Oh, it's horrible scene.
Oh, in the
Pyramid
apartment
Pyramid
building.
Head, yeah.
Yeah, that's the apartment building's
I
probably.
didn't know I was scared yet.
Oh,
That was a bad day.
the apartment
bad
building's
day.
probably I thought that was probably the scariest
know I
part of the
was
game.
scared
So well done.
That's you get a little glimpse of that in the trailer. I think
Well, there was one moment in the trailer where you saw Pyramid Head, I believe, like in the rain, and I think that might be the scene where Pyramid Head's on the roof. Which when I played, there were two moments which really spooked me, and that was one of the moments which really spooked me. So when I saw that scene, I was just like, I think that's that scene.
goodness
The
gracious.
Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Yeah, fully like.
We've also got Silent Hill Townfall, which is coming, which is a new game. There's also Silent Hill Ascension, which is a new streaming experience by GenVid and Behaviour Interactive, as well as Silent Hill F, which is a new 1960s set games. There is loads coming from Silent
Hill F looks really cool as well.
Yeah, it's like that girl getting grown on with mushrooms and flowers. And
and all
stuff.
the holes that were just in the like that shot where you just had like
Dave's face, sorry.
Yeah, if you don't
We should
like
do like a fan cam of Dave throughout this entire podcast, just like
Silent, but
Yeah,
afraid.
Silent Dave.
Silent Dave.
But yeah, are you excited for Silent Hill at all?
No.
Like even just to see how far it's come?
no.
You're just running around a nice foggy town. You're going to meet some people.
No.
I think Dave is excited for all of you.
Yes, I'm happy for everyone else. You have a nice time. That's good.
Silent Hill 2, you go to a bowling alley. Do you want to go to a bowling alley?
I'll go to a real bowling alley.
Oh, we should all go bowling. We should
go
do that.
bowling.
that.
Can we go
As
bowling?
long as it's
Yeah.
not in Silent Hill 2.
Why are you
yes.
asking me?
You're the boss.
I'm the parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we then?
Yes.
Yay, we're going bowling.
Okay,
That's
we're doing
good.
that this afternoon.
That's much better.
Right, and that's the wrap up of the main feature right there. There's loads of exciting horror stuff coming. There's loads of exciting horror stuff already out. There's just loads. This year, 2022 has been an absolute gift for horror, like in films as well.
It just seems it's been all year.
It's been
annoyed me,
amazing.
to be honest. It's like stay in your box horror, which is October, but it's
Yeah.
just been all year constantly horror,
Crazy.
horror.
Horror is not just for October, Rob.
Yeah, I know now.
not.
It's just
It's
all
like
the
adopting
time.
an animal. You've got to nurture it all year round.
Just never ending.
Gotta feed
Games,
it.
films, TV. And the annoying thing is lots of them are really, really good. So I have to watch them and play them.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of my time being scared now.
Yeah. The horror renaissance has come back strong. Like it's always been strong. You know, horror's always been there. It's always been good, like bubbling away under the surface. But the past few years have really blown it up beyond measure. The whole A24 elevated horror movement kind of sparked it back up again. Horror games are like back, baby, because people are after that retro remade experience. And it's just, I'm just really excited for what's yet to come because it's going to be good. But we're going to move on to the comments of the week now. So I hope you're ready to do a bit of singing. Are you guys ready to do the song then?
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, it's easy for me because I start it all off.
Well,
so.
please.
Okay. It's time.
It's time.
It's time. It's time
for comments of the week.
Oh, I went really out of tune at the end.
Oh,
Sorry. Horrible. Horrible.
That was a
For horror week.
discordant one.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wasn't much in
Yeah.
tune either.
Should
So.
we do like a really horrible one?
For horror.
Because it is the Halloween.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
even
was it.
deliberately just
Everybody do a spooky voice.
just
Oh. Okay, now I have to. Now it's hard for me now.
Yeah, you got to think of a spooky voice to lead with.
It's time.
it's time.
Oh no, I did it to it! Let's start again.
It's time.
It's time.
And it really is time for comments of the week, which I have right here on my trusty tablet. So from user Matt89. I don't know why they're described as users on here.
I remember Matt89. I've
From
sang happy
user.
birthday to Matt89 before.
Oh, do you want to go again?
No.
It's not his
weird.
birthday now.
Oh, well, just for next year in advance.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it when it's... You've got to come on a stream. That's the rule.
All right, okay. So Matt89 says, Pod Squad, I learned the joys of poutine on holiday once. I came home and tried to make it using uncooked halloumi, oven chips and bisto gravy. It made me quite ill. Which I just like as a comment that's been sent in because we were talking all about poutine last time. Poutine is delicious Canadian food, squeaky cheese curds, delicious thick gravy, perfectly cooked chips. Uncooked halloumi, oven chips and bistro gravy is...
That is a beef romaine story.
Yeah, that's
is
abomination,
horrible.
that is.
To me, who's never had poutine, when you describe poutine, it sounds disgusting.
Well, you're wrong.
Sounds gross.
What?
Like
Chips
just
and gravy?
cheese curds and thick gravy.
Yeah.
Chips and gravy.
Chips.
Think about that.
Do you not like gravy?
Yeah.
You like gravy? Do you like
Yeah.
cheese?
Yes.
Do you like chips?
Yes.
They all go together
Do you like
so
cheesy
well.
chips?
Yes.
Do you like gravy and chips?
I've not really ever had gravy and
Oh,
chips.
it's
Do
so
you like roast
good.
potatoes and gravy?
It's my favourite thing.
Well,
Then you should be having chips and
yes.
gravy, my friend.
yeah. And you like cauliflower cheese maybe with your roast?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's falling apart there. I went too far.
What about a parmesan parsnip?
I don't like
I wouldn't
parsnips.
put cheese anywhere near a roast dinner, to be honest.
Oh my god, cauliflower cheese, parmesan parsnip, elite.
A parsnip just is elite on its own.
It
A
is.
parsnip
I
and
hate
gravy.
parsnips.
I don't
They're like-
understand that.
I mean, I
It's
eat.
so
I
nice.
eat. I'm not like, oh, I'm not eating that. If someone gives me a parsnip on a roast dinner,
I'm not eating that.
I will eat it. But I really.
Take it away. What? No.
But if someone said, "Would you like parsnips with your roast?" I'd say no, thank you.
Have I told you this is? I think I've told you this before. My brother-in-law. Have I told you what he has with his roast dinner?
You've told me.
No.
A tire.
Tomato ketchup.
Ah,
That is wrong.
That is
straight wrong.
disgusting. We had a Christmas at my house once, and we'd all sat down. I was like, anything else anyone needs from the kitchen? And he was like, you got any ketchup? I was like,
Good joke.
sat down, and he was like, seriously, you got any ketchup?
have you got any
any ketchup?
With turkey.
And I had to go back.
Oh, and gravy.
yeah.
It's wrong.
Oh,
It's
disgusting.
wrong.
what about what would be worse than ketchup? Mayonnaise, maybe.
No, I think
No.
ketchup's the worst.
Ketchup.
Mayonnaise is
Of
so
all
good.
of the
I think it's the worst one.
the regular
For
condiments.
a
What
roast
about,
dinner.
what about HP sauce, brown sauce?
No,
I
I'd
think
rather
that
have
would,
that.
I'd
Salad
rather have
cream.
that on a potato.
Yeah,
Oh.
100%.
Okay.
And with the gravy, it's brown and brown. Works. Red and brown, no. Awful. Everyone knows that.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to go on to our next comment
Good
instead.
idea.
So Evan has said, #PodSquad about GIF and
Pod
other...
Squad.
Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
Other acronyms. Scuba and laser are acronyms and would be pronounced completely different if you paid attention to what the letters stand for. So, oh yeah, because GIF, that's right. About
GIF.
GIF and other acronyms.
GIF.
So what do you think scuba and laser stand for? Because I looked this up beforehand.
Laser.
I know what scuba stands for.
Laser is an acronym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know laser was
What's
an
the
acronym.
context? When would you say
Scuba.
what scuba is in a scuba diver? Or
Yes.
Okay, right. I didn't know if it was
I
another
don't
computer
know what
term.
Like
scuba
a
stands for.
scuba snack.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you can
I
guess.
thought it was like maybe another computer term, like, oh, this is our software scuba.
Right.
So that sounds
Dave-
like, do I need to think of like a...
I think I know
Dave knows what
scuba
it stands for. I think we should all guess what it stands
Okay,
for.
I know what it
and then-
stands for.
Oh, you know
So
as well.
I looked it up to make sure I could answer the question.
Well, Rosie should go first, I think, because
Scuba.
it'll be funny. Yes.
So for scuba, I think C.
You're starting with C.
Oh yeah,
Well, it was either
SEA.
C or so. So I was like, so
Oh, C.
can you
C, can you?
be accessible?
C, can you
C.
be accessible?
Let you shout at the ocean. C, can you be accessible?
Poor eyed scuba dive.
amazing.
And it parts waves.
I love that.
And you walk in.
I do
Your
love that.
scuba suit.
Can you be accessible? I don't think I can top that with a guess.
You know, you're about to dive. You have to go backwards and stuff. So
C, can you be accessible?
No, you
You
don't
just shout as you. Please. Work with me here, C.
I'm about to dive in my scuba outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. So that's one from me then.
And laser.
Laser.
I want to guess what scuba
Laser.
stands for. I don't think I. Maybe.
guess.
I'll guess what laser stands for. Are we talking lasers in like red lasers?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you spell laser? Is it with a Z?
No,
No,
S.
S.
It's with an S.
Yeah.
Laser.
Yes.
Um,
Laser.
Laser. I have no idea what it's. I had no idea that was an acronym. Lofty auxiliary
Yeah.
safe elephant runway.
What?
I don't know. I just said some words. I don't know what AverMedia stands for.
I know why I was like, look, stupid electric red. That's not a laser.
Lofty auxiliary stupid electric red.
Look at something, everyone. Right?
Oh, hey.
right.
With a laser.
What do you think scuba is? Because you've got the true answer.
I think it's self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Correct. Apparatus, please.
Apparatus.
And
I'll die on this hill.
Laser is, I can't remember, but it's like light-assisted
something.
Sunny emission, radiation.
All those good things.
Yeah, it's like it sounds really sciencey, and I read it and thought, oh, I remember that, and I don't. Is the truth. But you can look it up. There's a really handy website. You should type in Google, and then you'll be able to see it on there.
Well, anyway, if I'm happy to admit I've been saying scuba wrong all this time, and it should be scubba. That's fine.
For underwater.
Thanks for pointing it out, and I'll get it wrong. Yeah,
but it's not.
I'll get it right from now.
It's pronounced scuba, though, isn't it?
No, but it's scubba.
Scubba.
He's just pointed out because GIF is GIF, so
Scubba
scubba
diver.
must be scubba.
I don't know about laser though. Maybe laser.
Laser.
Laser. I do like Rosie's version of scuba the best though. Yeah.
Can you be accessible?
I feel like it needs a please on the end.
Yeah. I wanted to
Scoobap.
say please scoobap.
Scoobap. A delicious seaweed treat though. A little scoobap. Oh, I've had a late night last night. I'm gonna have a scoobap.
I'm gonna chill out with a bit of scoobap.
So we've got another one from I Am Rex Titan who says, a month or two ago I started playing Hollow Knight because Ash kept talking about how great it was. Yeah. And how challenging some of the trophies are. I've now platinumed the game. It was hard, very hard. It nearly drove me bananas. But I've never been more satisfied with myself than when I won the final Pantheon. Thank you, Ash, for introducing me to the game. You're welcome. I believe that you shall too one day when you have the time squash the last Pantheon too. #PodSquad.
Pod Squad!
Not managed it yet then, Ash?
No.
Well, congratulations to them for getting the platinum.
I am Rex Titan. That's crazy impressive. So thanks for letting us know, and that you've played Hollow Knight as well, because it's just the best game in the world. It's amazing. So I'm glad you had a good time with it. Enough to actually platinum it.
You can hear that. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done. Good for you.
Great work.
Well done, if anything. Moving on.
I wish I could lie. I am jealous and salty, but
Like a scoobap.
yeah. I wish that was me, but it's not, and I have much hardship to go. So well done, and thank you for letting us know. So we've got a last one from TJ the Skull Kid who says, VOD Squad / Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
Hey guys, loving everything you're putting out as always. Thanks. I actually got to meet some of you a little while back at the live podcast. Took a few pictures, but never got around to posting them. When I got home that night, my wife gave me the news that we're going to be parents for the first time. We have just had our 12-week scan, and I wanted to shout it out on here because I have spent the evening with you guys before getting the best news of my life. Keep up the great work, guys.
Oh, that's
Amazing.
fantastic.
That's a lovely
Congratulations.
comment.
You have to
Wow.
call your baby Access.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Access. Or Scoobap.
Or PlayStation. Yeah, that's lovely. Congratulations. And you do
what a
actually have to
lovely,
call your baby a
wholesome-
PlayStation name.
Wholesome comment.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Better than that GIF one.
Congratulations, Dave. I was going to call you then, Rob.
Sorry?
Do you say congratulations, Rob?
Yeah, congratulations.
Are you, Are you doing that father thing where you're like holding back the? It's going to be tough though. Were you thinking like?
I'm not saying anything.
Just congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah. It sounds like a great day.
And good luck.
Meeting us and then finding out that news.
Yeah.
What a great day that
What a
was.
Rosie
great
wasn't
day.
there, of course.
It makes
Yeah.
me sad.
That's what made it so
No.
great.
Yeah.
I am the worst one of the team.
Oh, what? Don't start this. Now vote in the comments below.
One of the
Let us
comments.
know.
Don't
Who
please
is
don't
the
actually
worst
do
one?
that.
No.
Alex will block you if you start saying favourites because we are all very sensitive.
Incredibly fragile. Yeah, like an egg.
We're all human.
I also have one question from the Discord from Miriam who says, in honour of God of War and the walking bow and arrow, who's everyone's pick for top video game companion? Can be the most helpful or just one they really liked. And I kind of want to direct this to you, Rob. I just want to see if the walking bow and arrow, aka Atreus, has made it to the top of your list yet.
Well, there's 2 Atreises as well. You'd have to tell us which one.
Yeah, and I'm not going to talk about God of War Ragnarok at all.
So it's that one.
I'm just not going to talk about God of War Ragnarok.
So who's top of your
I
companions
don't know.
list?
It's been thrust upon me very quickly, this question.
Well, okay, you can think about it. It's basically just the Atreus.
Well, most
question.
companions, usually aren't helpful, are they?
Yeah.
They're
Lydia.
often
To be
annoying.
fair,
Lydia.
Atreus in 2018 God of War, he comes good at the end. He starts out as a walking bow and arrow,
Yeah.
and by the end of the game,
Yeah, when you
He's-
upgraded him,
he's
he got
well
better.
good, isn't he? Well, that bit where you're fighting Boulder at the end, and it's Kratos flings him up in the air, and he's like shoots the arrows down. Great. If that was in a movie, then the cinema would be cheering at that bit, wouldn't they? They'd be like, oh, and it'd be up on YouTube. Audience
You'd be
reaction.
angry. You'd be like, oh. Everyone be quiet.
Well, that's the wrap up of the comments of the week, and we're going to move on to Before We Go. Okay, last section, Before We Go. Does anybody have anything nice they want to talk about in the Before We Go section that they've been up to?
I've been reading.
Is it Halloween related?
It is.
Okay.
I've been
I was
reading
about to say, shut up.
to my daughter, The Witches
Yay!
by Roald Dahl. Because it was one of my favourite scary books as a kid.
It's really good.
And for Halloween, I've been reading it to her. And it's been really fun doing all the voices.
Yeah.
So that's
Does
what
she
I've
like
been
it?
doing. She does. She's very scared by it as well.
Yeah.
She's very scared of the Grand High Witch, but in like a fun way.
Yeah.
She's enjoying the being scared.
She's one of those.
Of it.
Be a little
She's one
horror
of your
fan.
people. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
That's been a great time.
Didn't you? I wanted to ask you about your time at the Jurassic World.
That was great as
experience
well. Yeah, I went to the Jurassic World exhibition at the XL Centre in London. I think it's there till January now by popular demand.
Woo! Yeah,
Took
just from Rob.
Took my daughter there as well, and it's great. I had an amazing time there.
What was your favourite thing you saw there?
The T-Rex at the end.
Oh,
It's amazing. Like the animatronics in that place are so good. Very believable. If you've got young children, be prepared for them to be very scared because this T-Rex comes stomping in, roaring, moving. It hits a light. The light goes like swaying over the top of your head. You've got like the staff there saying, evacuate, evacuate. It's good. It's a great time.
Yeah,
I would thoroughly recommend it.
that would terrify me as a kid. Like I was one of those kids who was terrified of the scene in Jurassic Park where there's the toilet. Like you're there laughing like, and then like deep down like you're pretending to laugh, and I just run straight to the toilet and shut the door. And I was like, I'm not coming out until the dinosaurs are all gone, and it's just back to the people talking about dinosaurs.
I had to turn off Jurassic Park 3 because I was too scared of the dinosaur fight at the beginning. Like I cried because I was like, oh, it's too scary.
It freaked me out as well in the intro scene where is he a doctor or something? And then he gets like spat in the face by the dinosaur that's like,
No, he's a baddie.
I can't remember.
Are you guys talking about Jurassic Park? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like we've seen it once. What's going
No,
on?
I've seen it multiple times.
This
But
is-
this is when I first watched it as a kid.
Okay.
When I watched it, like,
but you're like, was it the start? Is he a baddie? He's,
No, I've watched
what's
it.
Going on? The
We're
disrespect
only allowed
being
to
shown
talk about Jurassic Park if we're doing high-level references
Absolutely.
with quotes.
I've seen
No,
it
no,
multiple.
Sue's
I've
that
seen it
guy.
multiple times, but not in a while. So I saw it like a lot when I was so I watched it when I was a kid because I think my dad was watching it, and I was just in the living room, and then I watched it multiple times when I was a bit older, but I haven't watched it a lot since then. So that's why my memory's just a bit hazy. Apart from
Name him then.
I
Name
don't
him
know.
then, Dave.
Sorry,
Name him then.
Dennis Nedry.
Ah, there it is. What's the dinosaur that he gets spat on by?
Dilophosaurus.
Oh, okay, that's actually really good. I'm impressed.
No more questions now.
What's the name of the man on the toilet?
Gennaro.
Gennaro, yeah.
Oh.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
The lawyer.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
We're going to make a fortune with this place.
This is the sort of reverence you should be showing
Yes,
Jurassic Park.
exactly.
I love
Should be
Jurassic
taught in
Park.
schools.
Jurassic
How'd
Park
you do
3
this?
with the two dinosaurs though, very scary. Very
Jurassic
scary.
Park 3 I'm less familiar with.
You're talking about the
That's when-
Spinosaurus and the T-Rex at the beginning.
Yeah.
Having their little...
when Sam
Dinosaurs
Neill
are really scary.
goes back to the island where it's got a phone inside it.
Yes. It's like the crocodile from Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It's a Spinosaurus
Where's
with a
my phone?
Nokia 360 inside it.
Last time I saw it,
That
dead guy was holding
it.
Did I tell you guys I used to have a recurring nightmare about a pterodactyl?
no.
Oh, I've never told you that. I used to have a recurring nightmare about a pterodactyl.
No way.
What happened in it?
So I used to have this dream all the time where I would be in bed and my bed was next to the window, and it was this big window and the blinds would be down. And if the blinds weren't fully down, or if they were, not down at all, in my dream the window would be just fully black, and I'd look out of it and I'd just see black and my own reflection, and then suddenly a pterodactyl would be flying in the sky, it would appear in the murky darkness and swoop forward, and I'd see it come to my window and it would try and break in, it'd be smashing its little claw wings and its head off the glass to try and get in. So I'd scream and run to my parents' room, and no one would be there, and the room had a window here and then a bit of wall and a window here, and I would run to the middle of the two windows, put my back against it, and I could hear the pterodactyl outside smashing into the windows and trying to do things off, and it comes at the wall and it smashes through the window and pulls the wall down and grabs me from inside the room and flies into the sky.
Is it grab you with its feet or with its beak?
With its feet. And I'm on this bit of it's got the wall as well, so I'm on this bit of wall and I can sail it a bit because it's a dream. So but it's got me, and then I managed to escape and fall straight down onto my drive where there's two people, and I try and tell them that something's coming, and I'm standing in front of them and they're there looking at me, and I'm going because I got that dream logic where you can't get words out, and in the distance I just see a pterodactyl coming down like a fighter plane.
What's wrong? Why can't we help you?
Yeah.
What, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, and I wake up just before it gets me, but I used to have that dream all the time. And also one about Morlocks from the Time Machine, about one breaking into my house, and I used to be able to wake myself up because I knew I was dreaming because I had it so many times, except for one time where I got by a Morlock from the Time Machine. And if you've seen the Time Machine, they're very scary.
I haven't seen it.
The 60s one, they're very scary.
Do you think the pterodactyls, are they from Jurassic Park 3 as well? Did that have a big effect on you?
I think they must be. The pterodactyls came
from
dinosaurs.
That's the one that they're in.
Yeah.
Was it from Disney's Dinosaur? Is it from Disney's Dinosaur?
It's
that
not.
Starts with a pterodactyl, but that's an epic pterodactyl.
Or The Land Before Time.
I used to love The Land Before Time.
Yeah.
I still do.
It's great.
I would watch it again now.
That's the scariest dinosaur film, in my opinion.
I
The
reckon
Land
it's
Before
from
Time. Sharp tooth. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's my horrible dream. I went to the House of Frankenstein after dark event this week as well, and it was so fun. I got grabbed by so many people.
I'm not sure that's one of the selling points.
It was really scary. So you go in and they've dressed up the whole house in Halloween decorations, and there's a bunch of people in outfits, and they just get in your face and are and touch you with their horrible straitjacket things, and then you go upstairs and they've got a film playing of all the jump scares that are really good in horror films, and I was naming them all. I was like, that's Insidious, that's Grave Encounters 2,
Dennis Nedry,
it was really
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. But I had a great time. It was really fun. It was really good. So if you're in Bath and you have a chance to go visit that, you should.
Some of us are going on Friday.
No, thanks for the invite.
You were invited.
Was I?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm not going to.
You're going to the After Dark event?
I'm just going to do the escape room bit, I think.
But are they doing the After Dark event?
I think so.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Not
it's worth
me.
doing.
Not for me.
It's good fun. I found someone's goggles on the floor and gave it back to them. There's a basement.
What, like a scary person?
Yeah.
I think you've dropped your goggles there.
Yeah, I did, and they left me alone after that. I was like,
yeah, leave me alone.
Deal. But yeah, really good. Really, really good. Any other spooky things from you, Bear?
No.
I mean, a magpie appeared at my window, tapped it, and
one
flew
for
up.
luck?
No, one for sorrow.
Oh, two for joy.
Oh no! Well, to be fair, I was very surprised. I don't have a large window. It's very
sorrow,
it's
not
a very
surprise.
I can't remember what I even said. I was so visualizing the magpie. I was just in my living room. I just saw its little head literally pop around the corner. I was like, "Oh, hello!" And then he just went. And then literally I went to get my phone to record it very carefully, and as soon as I did, it flew off. So my phone has just got a video of a magpie flying away, and I was like, oh, it's gone now. So that's my literally, apart from video games, I have a very bland life.
But the magpie
the magpie, it's just because you were saying about the pterodactyl in the window, and I was like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, magpies are so sweet. I love their little shiny feathers.
I like magpies.
Yeah.
Pipes?
Magpies.
It's a new instrument.
My parents, when my mum went into labour with me, they drove to the hospital and they saw 4 magpies on the way, and they knew I would be a boy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Is
a cool
that a
story.
thing?
Magpies used to be way rarer, I believe, then than they are. You see magpies quite a lot now, but it was like a thing. And they
Rarely
saw
do you
4.
see 4, though.
Yeah,
You know they eat other chicks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they like knock eggs out of nests and eat them.
Oh,
They're really quite nasty birds.
like cuckoos.
What's wrong with a cuckoo?
Cuckoos lay their eggs in other birds' nests, and then the
I've
little
heard of
birds, they
this.
just think that, oh God, that one's big, and they look after it, and the chick knocks all the other chicks out of the nest and kills them, and they're like a little tiny like Jenny Wren ends up looking after this massive cuckoo that's just like,
Mother.
I love you.
God, I think isn't there a reptile that does that as well or something? It lays its eggs in a bird's nest, or it like knocks out
Don't know.
the other eggs.
Like reptiles like to eat birds' nests.
Yeah, they eat
eggs, not nests.
I've heard a story about something else laying its eggs in a bird's nest, but that was a new one. I haven't heard that one.
Well, there you go.
Something
that's
every
nature.
day.
Something every day.
That's nature.
Right, I'm going to wrap up this podcast now. So thank you, everyone, for all of your spooky stories. And I hope everybody has a very frightening Halloween. We have a special event on Halloween, don't we, Dave?
We do.
Yeah.
I hope you have a very frightening Halloween.
I have a frightening
Although
Halloween.
you like it, so maybe I
excited,
don't. I hope
yeah.
you have a very boring Halloween.
No! Well, I hope everyone has had a particularly spooky October. I hope you watch lots of horror films. I hope you play lots of horror games. I hope you just have a horrifying experience in your day-to-day life, like a magpie appearing at your window for a single
tap.
peck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please come again next time. We have the podcast every 2 weeks, so you can catch us 2 weeks from now on Saturday, and we'll be back with more fun, nonsense, and blabbering. Yeah. All right, everyone, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
PlayStation